Hey guys, this is Dardamos with Dardamos Dominions. I'm here with Abysia's player, Zan. Zan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, I'm seeing messages from Naba in this one. Are you getting a lot of messages in your turns?
Not as much as I'd want. It's just something I kind of remember that maybe I should try and talk to people in game rather than through Discord. So I
It's
sent
it,
out a few to my neighbors.
it's really interesting. I don't think I've ever sent a message in chat since I've literally played with this player right here. I sent him a message, and that's probably the last one I did about a year and a half ago.
Yikes.
Now we're seeing some of your research goals already, and one of the things I want to do with this interview is ask you, get an idea of your expansion, and can you give me an idea? How many provinces have you taken with troops compared to assassinations?
So at this point, I think I have 20, 21, 22, maybe. Um, I think maybe I've done 15 of those with troops. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Maybe more. And that's not due to just like troops being more efficient or anything. It's just I mispositioned my assassins.
Okay, so there were. What do you mean by mispositioned? As in you sent them to the wrong provinces?
I didn't plan ahead to the point where each time could be move to a province, assassinate, attack, move to a province, assassinate, attack. It's more like move to a province, assassinate, attack, move to another friendly province, then move to the province that you're gonna expand into.
Okay. Was there any point where how do you know how many commanders are there? Do you just keep on assassinating until there are no more left, or do you ping it first?
Um, there have been times where I've pinged it. Usually, a province has 3 commanders on average. You'll find that they have three. So I would just have either a group of 3 assassins that they move to a province, assassinate everybody, move to another province and start assassinating there, and then I'll have a unit kind of trailing behind, and his job just walk in and clean house. Here, I think I ended up with 4 assassins, so I'd have 3 assassinate and the fourth one attack all on the same turn, and the fourth one would be set to some side of like hold and then retreat.
Okay.
Yeah, in case I there happen to be more commanders.
So you did
That
a
played
lot
a
of the
part.
guessing instead of just going until you saw that, like, the message just says there are no more commanders here. You never
Yeah,
got to
this
that point.
this province in particular, I did end up pinging it just because I had someone nearby and I saw there were 2 commanders,
Okay.
which are the ones that got assassinated. So that was an easy one. The turn before this, there was a province with skeletons where I assassinated everyone, but one of them just didn't dismantle in time, so my dude retreated and I had to come back for it.
Oh,
It
that's
was
sad.
annoying.
What's gonna be sad is we're not gonna be able to see any of your assassinations. That's the one thing that we don't get to watch.
Yeah, I mean that this turn right there with that one with that's a perfect example of how to do it.
Yeah, and
We're just
the
kind of
other nice thing
assassinate.
is we'll see the results. So like we'll see this, and
Yeah.
that we can piece together what happened from there. But it's still fun to because I mean, have you lost a lot of guys through assassination? Have you lost any assassins yet?
I think one. One got he fought someone, the other guy got a lucky hit and he got disease. So
Okay.
made it go check that all the commanders are dead.
Okay,
I think
so
he's the one
let's.
that actually pinged that one province with the 2 commanders because it was his last turn
Oh,
before
is
dying to
this
disease.
so? This guy's actually this
No,
guy's
no, not this
disease.
one killing it. The turn before when I found out that there were 2 commanders was the diseased assassin with 1 hit point left.
Okay, gotcha.
He had
Okay,
nothing to lose.
so let's move into your actual attack and your bless. So
Okay,
these guys are going to get blessed. You don't. Where's your prophet at? Is he somewhere else?
that's not a profit.
Yeah, I mean, where
Yeah,
where is he?
he's on the other end of the world. You'll
Okay,
see whenever you get to the map. You'll see why.
okay. Where? One of you guys have got. Okay, so you have barkskin, fake weaving, fate weaving, and awe. Do you want to explain your bless to us?
Sure. If you want to back up to the unit screen, it's a little easier that way.
Oh yeah, there we
So
go.
these lava warriors, if you notice, they hit very hard. They have 2 attacks each. They're 2 to a square, so they're going to swing for an 11 attack and 20 damage. That's default. Now, they berserk, so they're going to get 14 attack for 23 damage. And then I don't think this province is in Heat 3. I think this is Heat 0. In Heat 3, it goes up another 3 each. So in the prime conditions, they're swinging for 17 attack skill and 26 damage. And then plus 2 against shields, which is most units. So to me, their offense did not need to be buffed. But the fact that they have 3 defense skill and 17 hit points meant I think I need to make sure they don't die. So Barkskin gives them 10 natural protection, which combined with their plate armor puts them to 24 protection. Because they're going to get hit by everything. They have 3 defense. Everything's going to hit them. Awe makes it so people need to take a morale check to swing at them in the first place. And then Fate Weaving is kind of a mixture, because most people take magic weapons to stop Body Ethereal and Fog Warriors and all that. But then they still have to deal with luck. And I think luck's a little bit more widespread. So Fate Weaving to me is to counter luck and slightly increase their damage.
It is a really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what how this all plays out. One of the questions I have for you is, how are you planning on dealing with Airmore, since Airmore, takes, pretty much knocks out half of your bless?
Airmore is an interesting thing that I'm not looking forward to fighting, and if I did fight, I don't think I would use these lava warriors as best I can, because while they can essentially kill enough infinite skeletons, give or take, until they fall asleep, the lictors will hit them very hard, and I hopefully don't eat the lance charge with these guys either. Okay. So for Ermor, I think it will just be fire elementals or blood magic.
Okay.
Not these guys.
Excellent. Now, speaking of blood magic, where are you going? Are you planning on doing any blood, or is that going to be later in the game?
Sooner rather than later, yes. Okay. Right now, I have a few earlier goals I need to just kind of get to real quick to make sure I survive, and then I'm going to start blood hunting and doing the blood magic.
What's your plan with Construction 4?
So Construction 4 it's still tied into the blood magic, and it was a little bit of a greedy play. I can start blood hunting early, and then I can equip my assassins with the imp contracts. And what the imp contracts are for is they spawn infinite amount of imps that work in assassination battles. So it makes my assassin battles better.
That's a really good idea.
So it gives me dowsing rods to blunt hunt better, and it gives me those contracts to assassinate better.
Okay. Now I'm seeing that you have Death 3. I mean, I know that Abysia isn't as affected by death as normal, but it's going to hurt in your blood hunting. What's your plans for
Correct. that? For that, I'm just going to go with the Abyssian theme of I am fire wasteland people, and I'm just going to go pick a province and burn it to the ground and move on to another province.
Okay.
Yep.
That's going to be really interesting. I'm gonna look forward to seeing that. Now you've got these guys right here. Are these your slow to recruit guys?
Nope. Recruit in one turn.
Oh, God. You get a blood 3, astral 2?
Yeah, these guys are fantastic. They're so good. They're just expensive.
Okay.
But yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, that one. No, that's not.
No, the next one. That one. Yep, they can just cast that. Here on level 5.
Oh, level 5. It's only level 5?
Yeah, they can just send. They can cast that one by default almost always. If not, you put a little hat on them, they can do it. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who haven't seen Send Lesser Horror and the absolute pain in the neck that it is, everybody always complains about elves. The elves have nothing on Send Lesser Horror, in my opinion, because elves actually have to be someplace and they can get mind hunted out. The worst case scenario is that you can maybe mind hunt the scouts if you want to, but I'll do 9 blood slaves for a scout any day. And either way, I mean, it's still. Do you want to explain how this works?
So the usual way this is done to raid, and I'm assuming that's where you're kind of going with it.
Absolutely.
Is you cast this once or twice for a province. It's going to send these extra dimensional beings that are going to go and usually make short work of whoever the province defense is and leave that province kind of unguarded, like if it was an independent province with nothing in there. So you cast this on somewhere, And that same turn, you have a scout from a different province moving in, and the way the turn kind of plays out is these guys go and wipe out the defenders, and then the scout just claims the undefended province. It's hard to stop this because I do it from the safety of my capital or from somewhere else.
Yeah, and you don't need anything. I mean, even if it goes independent, you're still denying income, and you can set off.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this in such a way that you can cut off chunks of their land, and they don't get income from chunks of their land. It's also incredibly demoralizing because, I mean, what do you do to stop it? Do you PD dump? Well, then that becomes you just dump more lesser horrors in it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is just that you can cast this with everybody is disgusting.
Yep. And even if you were to think, oh, maybe I can thug against it, some horrors are just, you cannot thug against them. They'll have like damage reversal or armor negating attacks. Yeah, it's rough.
God, that is.
That's coming. Don't worry. Look, that lifelong protection, the little like scroll on the right, that's the one for the assassins.
Yeah. This is really awesome. I know that Vish was using this in one of ours where we got black hearts on Scrotties and put this lifelong protection on them, and it was something else.
Yeah, black hearts are construction 6, and I have a plan for those too. Don't worry.
What's interesting is that you can, you can lock down Airmorian forts if you do end up going to war. Oh, you're not even next. For some reason, I'm misremembering the
Technically,
map.
I am. If you go all the way to the right, technically, I burned at Ormar.
Wait, how is he? His starting area is down here.
Yeah.
What's funny is I haven't kept up with the turns, so I'm kind of curious if he's. Wait, what is this army of Cetician warriors doing here?
Oh, that province for Cetis was Bloodhenge Druids, so I guess he was just saving it for last.
Okay, so this isn't a pretext to war. He's gonna have a
correct
slog getting there, but
yeah, I'm a little big.
What's weird is that I was okay. So starting at the beginning of the game, I expected you to start make a beeline for Asphodel because look at this road, it's gorgeous. I didn't mean to make the road. It just when we went through this, I looked at this, I'm like, oh my goodness. And you were talking about possibly going after Nabaa, and both of them didn't happen. What's going on with this?
So to defend myself, and the other thing, it was people saying, "What if I did that?"
Okay.
And one thing I mentioned, because I believe one of the questions to me was, "What's your type of expansion? How do you find out who you attack first?" And I always said like, whoever is the easiest target.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how this played out. I saw that Pan was getting attacked. I actually had a bunch of people telling me, "Hey, Pan's getting attacked. Do you want to go take their capital?" So I just went over there, and I didn't get their capital, but that's 7 extra provinces that were they had the Pan flag on them, but I just saw an Indy flag, so I kind of just took it.
It's so weird because from our perspective, we're like, oh, you got to keep it quiet. Don't tell anybody that Pan's cap is locked down. And I've been trying my best not to bring up. In fact, I've done a decent job where I haven't told anybody. But how many people know this?
I was messaged by 3 people. On top of me seeing it with my own eyes, I think I was messaged by about 3 people. And if I was going to attack someone without any prior knowledge, I was going to attack Pan anyways.
Okay.
So Abysia getting there first kind of sucked, but hey, it is what it is.
What's interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the turns, is that, I'm curious. I mean, this looks like all of his troops. I wonder how much he's expanded on this outside in addition to this, because, and I like I said, I don't know, but you picked up, I mean, that's almost all of, okay, so Pan's share goes out too, so you've almost picked up half of Pan's share of land.
Yes.
That's nuts.
And some of that, actually more than half of that was still independent when I got there. Because here's the fun part. That's not Fascia's first army. Fascia's first army got wiped out.
Wait, what?
Yes. He had 200 and something troops. Because I believe he went full scales, and then since he's on the island, he has that capital site that gives him extra resources.
Okay.
So he was able to get 200 units plus mercenaries on Pangea's capital by turn, like 5 or 6.
Okay.
But that got beat. And I was actually going to go Vulture,
Yes.
except I found out one tiny little itty bitty problem.
What's that?
It was the dead of winter, and my guys suck in Cold 3, so I had to step back and negotiate instead. It was horrible.
Who did you wait? When you say negotiate with who?
How long a story do you want?
Okay. Answer the questions that I give, and then I think that I'll get the information that I want, and then we can make it as long as I want. So who did you negotiate with? Both players?
Yes.
Okay. And so pretty much you said, I'll take this land with both players, and both players said, okay, right?
No.
No. Who said no?
Pangea's initial thing was, come take me over. I'm going to do everything I can to hurt Facia. Take me over.
Oh, really? See, that's awesome. Yep. I love that. See, that's...
I mean, it's demoralizing when you have that many troops on your capital in turn, 5.
And somebody rushing you like that, you're just like, you want to spit in their eye. Anything that you can do to make their life miserable. But I think, if he wiped out this first army, there's no way he has... there's no way that he could be expanding and putting this many troops here, I would assume.
Correct. And I'm usually the person that makes scouts, and I only had one scout province in all of this territory, one scout. So I don't have the eyes. So I just kind of hoped that was the case, that this was Facia doing an all-in, and I used that to leverage diplomacy against him.
Wait, hold on. You get the Slayers? You get Slayers anywhere?
Yes, sir.
So when you do Call Horror and they send in a scout to retake their territory, you just put a scout with it and you attack their scout, and you even have... Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, I'm really excited.
Believe me, my bless and my strategy, everything is synergized and connected. Everything. This is well thought out, I hope.
I really hope that I get to see the Send Lesser Horror. I think it's the strongest thing in the game. Outside of Wailing Winds. Wailing Winds is a little stronger. But
yes, that's what I was going to say. It's not Wailing Winds, it's Wailing Winds.
Yeah, exactly. There's no D in that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked to Pan, and Pan said, please come eat me, and then you talked to Facia, and they said you can take all of this territory?
Yes.
But not that one.
Actually, the initial deal, and you caught me on a weird turn. Pangea actually sent me all their nature gems, and I did something that nobody would do, because I'm only because I'm a madman. I sent them back. Because the deal was, I'm going to go kick Facia off Pangea's capital and take it myself. Okay. I did not fulfill my part of the deal, so I sent them back.
Dude, I really respect you for doing that, because I know a lot of players that would just keep it and be like, oh, well, they're dead anyways.
Yeah. 40 nature gems, man, that'd be so good for me, but I sent them back.
Yeah, at the same time, if I was Pan, I'd still give them to you, just because this is a kick in the gut for Facia.
Spoilers, he did, yeah. And the only reason I didn't go back on the Facian capital again, Cold 3 and his main unit has a very high damage javelin, and my guys don't have shields. So it was the risk versus reward wasn't enough, and I think these 7 provinces I took that are Pans, or should be Pans, I think that's a win enough for me. And by me approaching Facia diplomatically, and I think from a position of more power than he does, I think I got a good deal out of it.
It looks like you're getting about 300 gold worth of provinces here. That's not bad. And not only that, but you're getting 300 gold worth of provinces, and you can, if you fort these up and get some temples here, get your dominion here. This is...
Dude, click the far right one.
Which one?
The furthest one out. Look at that. Look at the population. And it's that low money because, again, it's just turning to spring. I had a minus 40% income because it was Cold 3 for a little bit.
Can we check? Oh, they need to get it so you can
if you click the scales. If you click the scales themselves.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Look at the bottom. It says somewhere it was saying something like, this is owned by Naba, and I couldn't figure that out. So it's clicking through the
UI.
If
you go click the cold icon. Dude, look at that income malus. In Cold 3, I was getting nothing. Once this goes to Heat 3, this province alone is worth the rest of all those combined.
And what's amazing is if you try to like keep your scales here-ish for as long as you can sneak over, fort this up, get yourself some blood hunters. Do you have blood hunters that are not holy?
No.
Where are your blood hunters?
Cap only.
They're cap only. Ouch.
Yeah.
So these guys are your blood hunters.
Yes.
Okay, how are you going to deal with that late game? Because they can't keep that up. Can you?
Like I said, I'm going to burn it to the ground. So rather than have a very wide blood hunting operation, I'm hoping to have a very tall one where I just go to like the next province over with like 9,000 population, burn it down to 3,000, and then move on.
That's really interesting. Well, I mean, like this one,
it's gonna.
you don't burn this place to the ground, dude. This one is like
that's a fort.
This is
that's a fort.
To take the name of your pretender. This is milk and honey right here, dude.
Yep, that's a fort right there.
Or blood and blood slaves. I mean, like, this is beautiful.
Everything else in between the forts, that's all going to the ground.
Like, the sad thing is to get these guys there, it's going to take you 6 turns. It'll take you half a year to get there. How do you pull that?
No, it's not. Look at their astral level.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So think of it this way. This is another thing. If someone tries to send like a super combatant against me, I can just teleport these guys in and do life for a life. Or some other shenanigans. These guys are insane. They're just so expensive.
Yeah, well, the thing that really stinks is they're cap only. Like this is worth 285 gold right here. This is worth 285.
Oh yeah.
Now they have adapt crossbreeder, and I could swear I saw some of those guys in there where you've actually got like some of those crossbred humans. Are those the same?
I haven't used them yet.
Okay, so that's not from those.
Correct. Those will come later. Those will be like my blood hunting chaff, my get hit by lightning chaff, such and such.
Yeah, the scary thing is that you want to move your scales here, but your scales are trash. Like this.
Nah, I just need a heat 3 over there.
Yeah, and I don't know how you're going to do it. I mean, I guess the nice thing is if you get... Oh, but that's going to cause you to get diseased.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of a rush to get over to that side of the world. But hey, look, on income, my scales, they look bad, but I promise you, they're actually not that bad. Go to my capital. This is the crazy part. Click the scales. What income malice? Productivity and turmoil, they cancel out. And death is an income minus 3% only.
Okay, so you have neutral income. I guess that's true. So
pretty much.
It's not bad. It's just that the death is what's going to kill you overall. I've seen somebody who did this, and it did come back to bite him in the end, but at the same time, what he did is he took his first cap, and then he rested his laurels, and that was bad. I think you're going to have to keep on expanding throughout the entire game in order to be successful, maybe? I don't know. Correct. That was also EA, so it's a little different. Now, let's go over some of the units that you're playing with.
Mm-hmm. So this is NA. There you go.
Okay, so you're using these lava warriors exclusively right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we went over them really, really briefly, but the Zerking with the high protection and the high hit points is really cool. What is the downside of these guys?
Because of the Zerking, they will fall asleep very fast with very high encumbrance. They are dreadful in cold 3 because they have firepower, which alternatively makes them awesome in heat 3. And the most important problem of all, they have defense skill 3. Anyone who swings at them is going to land a hit, which is very bad for giants and knights, or anyone with lance.
Okay, but the thing is that there's nobody with a there are no giants, I don't think, in this game, so you should be safe on that.
Naba above me. Naba has these dudes with scimitars that swing for 24, which is exactly their protection.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, big problem.
So the way that you solved this was to up their protection, interestingly enough, and not their defense, which I think was the right call. The defense is a lost cause. You're not getting this high enough.
Correct. Yes, that's a lost cause to me.
And I kind of like that because it's one of those things about games that is kind of counterintuitive. You don't want an even base. Like, the idea is that you want to find out what's good with a unit and make that good part better. rather than trying to fill holes in a unit's problems. But there are some exceptions to that, right?
Correct. And the reason I didn't do that with these guys of making their offense, because I think this is just a pure glass cannon unit. I didn't make their offense better is because odds are, if they're in firepower and they're berserking, they're probably going to one hit someone anyways. And when they don't, it's because they hit a limb and got their damage capped out. So I didn't want to bump their offense even more because overkill doesn't do anything for you. I just needed them to not die when they got hit. I'm not going to try to solve their defense. There's a way to do it, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see where if you hit enough damage, like doing a lucky hit is gonna kill them more, or more damage is gonna kill them more. You're like I'm better for you to take 2 swings to kill something than for the protection to be low and you take 2 hits against like a
Correct.
lower protection. So for me, the protection is everything. Unless you have like incredibly, you can't kill at all. But I
The
think
problem
it's
is I'll swing and kill the unit that this guy's swinging at. He will die, and then someone takes his place and then swings at this guy.
yes, exactly. Okay, so these guys are your awesome guys that you're going to probably use. Anything else in the roster that you're going to be seeing, consistent use out
Yeah.
of?
Everything except the plated shield guys, which are the ones on the middle right.
Okay,
Those guys I won't use.
So these guys you will eventually be using.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes,
just to
the
fill
problem
out
is
your
they're
roster.
expensive. Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is they're expensive, and I'm trying to build up infrastructure. But everything in that roster has a use, to me, except the plated shield guys.
Even the
Those guys are-
salamanders?
Yes. I don't have magic weapons. This is a
Oh,
fire flare is probably the most damaging recruitable attack. It's armor piercing AoE 1. This is a firebrand for 20 armor piercing.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah. The problem is they die very easily, but I can get a situation where I get these guys up and they swing first. Or they kind of do like a flanking maneuver. They'll devastate things. They'll kill thugs, they'll kill body ethereal, whatever it is, these guys will take them out.
It's really interesting. They got heat 6, so I think no, even fire resist 5 wouldn't be able to stop that. That's interesting. Okay, so what are these demon breads?
So these I was initially wanted to do something with them because they're really cool. But the more I've looked at them, man, it's difficult. It's really difficult because they're cap only and they're slow to recruit. So if I recruit one of these, I could have recruited 2 of the other ones, of the warlocks.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why you would ever get one of these guys.
Yeah, so they're very good. Like, this is amazing. It's just, is it worth 2 warlocks?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's really interesting that their blood, early game, they're kind of cool because they can be your early game blood hunters, but you don't need the flying because early game you don't have a lot of provinces. By the later
Correct.
game, it's like just teleport these guys, like you're saying, go Thom 3 and take the hit.
And then you saw how the other one is blood 2 with blood searcher 1. As far as I know, that should be equivalent to a blood 3, right?
Yes, it is, except for casting.
Except for casting.
Yeah, which is like, I mean, who cares?
Warlocks.
That's what you. Yeah,
already
and
blood 3.
Blood 3 right off in the beginning. That's nuts. And it could be up to blood 4. Yeah. It could technically be blood 5. If you get a blood 5, that's gonna be amazing.
Yes. So it's kind of like, wait a second. Why don't I just get 2 of these guys for every one of the other ones?
25. What's 4% of 25? Like 6% chance. You got a 6% chance of getting a blood 5. It'll happen. Like, there's a good chance that you'll see a blood 5 this game, which is amazing, by the way, because then you just the world becomes a happy place.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Like, this is nuts.
Especially because my pretender doesn't have high blood. So yeah, that'll be good for me.
And not only that, but like a blood 5 will get you, 5 blood slaves per turn, not counting your dowsing rod.
Oh, dude, if I get a blood 5, I'm sorry, he's not going anywhere. He's staying in the capital to do rituals or something. I can't risk that.
Just have him blood hunt the capital.
Sure.
That'd be worth it.
If I get another capital, it will totally be worth it.
I mean, the thing is if you go to Astral and you Astral jump him to another fort, he's 100% safe, with the exception of maybe assassins. But yeah, I don't think
that's my job.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, speaking of assassins, what makes the Slayer so good?
A few things. This isn't even their best one. Their best one's in LA. Um, they have very good stats. All assassins have good stats. For a size 2 unit, they have 17 hit points. They have high magic resistance, high morale. They can see in the dark good, not perfect, but good. And most assassinations are at night. So at night, people who can't see in the dark take a -3 to their attack and defense. These guys only take a -1.
Oh, nice.
So counting all that, they swing at 14 attack already, which is already very, very high, twice for 16 damage. And if you get hit, there is a poison attached. So it's very likely in melee, these guys are going to swing. It's very likely they're going to hit you, and you're probably going to die.
That's nuts. And what's interesting is that you get them recruitment points
everywhere.
once, so you can get 2 a turn.
Yes.
And they're not cap only. That's really cool too. The not cap only is really amazing to me. Are you gonna gear any of these guys out?
So there's a few things with assassins I've done. I know one easy thing to do. If they're literally just gonna one-on-one somebody that's not a mage, I can put the shroud that blesses them, and the bless is already crazy.
Yeah.
Most likely, their kit will just be the imps. Sometimes I will add a ranged weapon because I like. I've done this before where I'm fighting someone and their answer to my assassins is summon an elemental. I will give these guys a ranged weapon. They will hopefully shoot the other person, interrupt their elemental cast, and then the imps will kind of do the work. It's very good against mages.
Okay, that's interesting. And the thing is that, fire resist 25. Does a fire elemental have anything outside of fire damage?
Nope. But the problem is this guy would also have a very hard time killing the fire elemental. Okay. So if the opposing mage has something else, eventually they might kill this guy. Okay, but it's more like air elementals that I'm worried about.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're running a little bit shy on time, so we're gonna skip over because we did hit the mages pretty hard.
Yep.
And what you went with the divine glyph, and then what were your paths?
6, 7, 6, I think. Nature.
Oh, nature.
Not blood.
So you have no blood whatsoever.
On my pretender, but I can get recruitable 4s and then occasionally a 5.
Okay,
so it's like whatever. Yes. Okay, and then so then all fate weaving, and then barkskin.
And barkskin. This is a really expensive bless, but it seems like you got off pretty light, all things considering, especially because of the death scales.
Yes. I look at taking death 3 as giving me 240 points instead of 120, because it's saving me the 120 I would have put for growth 3. No magic skills.
No magic skills. So where's your other 48 points going?
There. Dominion.
Oh, just Dominion?
I need to be in Heat 3 or my lava warriors suck.
Oh, that's right. Do your Okay, so you do that exclusively. How many lava warriors can you pull per turn?
Right now, all 7.
Okay. But that'll start tapering out as the death takes over, right?
Maybe. It'll most likely taper out due to production issues of my terrible planning with forts. But if it survives this next fort that I'm planning on building, I should be able to make 7 from here to the end of the game. Because the Abyssians have very low recruitment points cost. So the death 3 wouldn't have much of an effect.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting. Are you planning on doing a bunch of the sacred, or not the sacred, what is it, the infernal breeding?
I'm still debating on this because a lot of the problems of the lava warriors is them getting hit, and that means I need units that are going to get hit in the face. Depending on how much money I get, and it looks like I'm going to have a lot of gold, I might be able to skip infernal breeding and craft get more assassin items instead, and just use the human bred units, which are they're not cheap, but the lower tier units I have, and their whole job is just gonna eat the ones on the far left. They're not cheap, but they have high defense, very good shields. Their job is to get hit by a lance, trampled by elementals, hit by lightning.
Die gloriously.
Die gloriously. Make sure that by the time the enemy gets to my lava warriors, they are tired, and then the enemy takes a mace to the face. That is this guy's job right here. That's all he's going to do the whole game.
My interest here is that you don't have any of the resists, and I'm kind of curious come late game if players are going to be able to to like go around that and to be able to find something that can do a wipe on you. Are you worried about that at all?
Yes, but there are measures to that. The job of my lava warrior is go fight the enemy melee unit, the other infantry, and beat him in a one-on-one. Just chew up the enemy infantry. The mages, I will handle them with my mages, and more importantly, my assassins.
Okay. Excellent. Well, dude, I really appreciate this. It's really interesting. I'm hoping that, I mean, it looks like you're probably going to be making it to the next 12 turns. Do you have any, oh, your next war goal? Who's your next goal for war?
I have no idea right now. I think I have an IOU from Fascia, and I
Okay.
think the best target for Fascia and by via VV would be Naba. But they're, as you saw in the message, they're friends right now. Everyone around me is friends or Satis, and I don't want to fight Satis.
That's one
So
thing that I see with this is that you don't have any poison resist, and I don't know how you're going to get it either.
well, I have a lot of nature gems right now. I have a god that can make thistle maces, and I have recruitable N1 indies that can cast poison resist.
Okay.
The funny thing about elemental resist on a bless, there's magic that does the same thing for you.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing if what happens with this, because this type of bless is it's very risky because it doesn't defend against all the elementals, which is kind of like it's more the meta right now. But at the same time, I don't, you still need to deal with the troops. So it's really going to be interesting. I'll probably catch up with you in about 10 to 12 turns. And thank you so much for your time. And thank you for meeting up with me, dude.
Excellent, man. Been looking forward to it.
Okay, then I will see you and I will see your viewers in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.